Everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman in the house, and here we are with a brilliant news. And of course, Trump, the master peacemaker, is announced Israel and Iran ceasefire, which is fantastic. And of course, we can expect if that holds and things move forward, that sets a beautiful position for the markets to do what we know they're going to do with everything else, which is looking so good. So yeah, very, very exciting. We saw Iran do a very mild retaliatory attack against US base. I think it was in the UAE or Qatar, one of those two. I think overnight, which is a good signal that that was more of a symbol of honor as opposed to a full-out attack. So, and that, of course, no casualties and all got shot down. And of course, they gave some pre-notice. So that is, and now we wake up with this announcement of a peace deal, which is fantastic news. As you guys know, Iran was really on the back foot after losing air superiority, having a lot of their missile launches being attacked, as well as losing a lot of aircraft. Overnight, of course, the special forces in Iran garrison, I think it was like 500 people, special forces got pretty much obliterated. And so, a lot of big things hitting them one after another. Obviously, losing the nuclear sites as well, which only left them really with obviously some rockets and their land army, and of course the armor that goes with that, which could be picked up from the air. So they really were on the back foot. Obviously, they also had leadership capitation as well. So they were really back against the wall. It would have been quite a difficult war for them to try to run. Obviously, they had also had sleeper cells. So there was some of the outcomes with that, and I think they've realized that they need to come to the table if they want to have a chance of living on and surviving in their regime. They also faced obviously a huge part of their society that doesn't like them, something like 80-90%, and so they faced issues within the country as well, because whenever the leadership looks weak, that's when the internal revolution may happen. So that's kind of some of the background there around the Israel and Iran war, the 12-day war, they're now calling it. So we're going to check out some of this cool stuff there. We've got people in the chat there. Don't forget to get in the chat there as well. And let's go to let me go to X there before we get into the show and share the channel around. So let me find the show here and, definitely get it out there. And a big shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate that. So let's get a copy of the link and share the show on X before we get into the deep dives. Share the show on X, and what fantastic news, right? So I was feeling pretty confident, but of course you don't know 100%, do you? You don't know 100%. But when I did see the attack with only the 6 missiles, I was going, oh, that looks like a deal's going to be done there. So there we go. All right, so that is the link, and this sets us up for the markets. Obviously, we've had this brutal retrace on PulseChain. Obviously, it's good for buying, but of course, for people that are hodling, it's been gritting teeth, as it were. But we're really set up now because we've got all the bullish things, which I'm going to talk about during the live stream. So that'd be fun. We've got Frank White in the house there. Good morning, PulseChain. Big shout out there, Frank White. Q Baller in the house there. I keep laughing at that one, Craig. Morning all. Good to see you, Q. We got Brennan in the house as well. Woohoo! We have a big, beautiful peace fire agreement. 2 more weeks. Yeah, 2 more weeks indeed. We got DJ and Hickskin in the house as well. 5555. Loving that. Loving that. Eddie Havina in the house there. Let there be peace now. Bull run full steam ahead. Yeah, I think that's the expectation. That's the sentiment, and I think you wrapped up there nicely, Eddie. There is no peace in the state of origin. One all says Wookie there. That's talking about rugby league, which is one of the 2 codes of rugby. For those that are not familiar, definitely share the show around. It doesn't take just to hit that 1 click. Really appreciate that if you guys do that. Helps with the algorithm for PulseChain coverage as well. 4 more hours until the ceasefire. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so they're allowed to still run their military operations that they had planned for that period of time. So that's kind of the irony of there. We got Fast Abdul in the house there. I'm still here for the tech. Big shout out there. Woohoo! We got Blair as well. Hi all, good to see you, Blair. Hope you're doing well. Love the sunglasses there for the radiation fallout. Yeah, it's probably the case. All right, so let's get into some of the news here, and definitely share the show around, and let's get partying. Let's get partying, but let's kick it off with the nuclear news that we have. And that is the news there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to go to the bigger studio, shall we? Just one moment. Let's see if we can do that. And I just got to fix something up there. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it's a bigger. So let me show myself there, and we'll hide that. Bam, and then let's go. All right, so there is the bigger studio, and you can see this is the Truth Social post by Trump. He says, "Congratulations to everybody. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire." So in approximately 6 hours from now, which apparently is 4 hours left from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. What the heck are they? What's being bombed? I don't know. But for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24-hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, the courage, the intelligence to end and what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Now, I want to say something about the fact that, when Trump did a speech about bombing the, was it for low? I think it was for low. He put out a statement at the end of his speech at the White House saying, we love you, God, and God bless, the countries. And that is wonderful for me to hear. We have had people that anti-God run the world, and they've turned it into a bloodbath. And so I'm very happy to see God mentioned in this. So very, very cool. Yeah, fantastic news there. And it seems that we've got the God is working His mysterious ways, as it were, and often uses the least likely characters in history to do it, which is part of the gambit there. So very good news there at this stage. So let's see if it holds up and all that sort of stuff. People have free will, it's the old free will thing. So we will see. But so far, so good. And then, of course, we got some video here as well from that. So let me go back to the other studio and let's play the video from the vice president, which happened to be on Fox News at the time. Very nicely coordinated there. So let's hear from J.D. Vance, the vice president of the United States.
Seconds ago, the president went to Truth Social and typed this. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total ceasefire is what he typed.
Yep.
What does that mean? How did it come about? What's the development here?
Well, we were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here. So that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago. A week ago, Iran was very close to having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program. And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild.
All right, so that there is from the Vice President of the United States, and that was only just a short while ago, maybe about an hour ago or so, on Fox News. So that is pretty much it where it's at. So great news. Okay, we've got 4 hours to go, and then a little bit of extra process on the end for full ceasefire and hopefully peace there in the end of the 12-day war. So very, very cool. We shall see what happens going forward. Internal politics in Iran, and fingers crossed everything holds up there. But like I say, Iran lost a lot of stuff in terms of being able to be forward projecting. and I think they've probably made the right move moving forward here. So very, very cool. All right, let's jump over to some of the updates we've got here. We got Crypto Utah in the house there. Titanx ecosystem is pumping. Share the stream and smash the likes as Utah there. A big shout out there. We'll check out Titanx towards later on in the show. We got Wookie in the house as well. JD is like Trump's translator. This is Wookie. It's true actually. That's a very good insight. Big shout out there, Wookie. All right, so that's kind of the play. Let's move on into the stock market since we had Monday's results. Of course, this news regarding the ceasefires pretty much come out after the markets closed. And so we're going to see the futures markets for tomorrow already, so early on. And let's check that out now. I'm going to be checking out, obviously, PulseChain coming up, and particularly exclusive to the Kryptonite show, we're going to be looking at the project. We're going to have a look. Sorry, we're going to look at the bridge values, which I'm tracking as well. And of course, we're going to probably talk about the monster thread also coming up as well. So if you haven't checked out the monster thread, that is the latest news on PulseChain. Big shout out to MBS Crypto out there doing great work as editor-in-chief on that. So let me just bring that up first. Actually, I might put that out there before we get into the stock market news. And let me just find the post. And I'm going to post that in the chat there as well. Check out monster threads. Number 7, and that is it there. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, pretty cool. So fantastic news for us. I mean, everybody that wanted to get a reprieve from all the black swan events that we have now, as you guys know, Trump has had to fix up a lot of problems that were put in by the Democrats and the evil regime that they were running. And so we've had 6 months or 5 months at least of tough love so far, and it has it creates all that volatility that we've been experiencing. But I think this was the big one in the room, and we're seeing some progress with the Ukraine-Russia war last time I checked. So fingers crossed that all goes well. Also, Trump, of course, making peace deal between India and Pakistan, and it looks like trade deals are coming there. Trump also making peace deals with Congo. I think it was Uganda, which has been running for decades. Bloody war that was. And that's been finally a peace deal being made, and looks like trade deals probably coming out of there too. The peacemaker is Trump, and for all the doubters, it's looking pretty amazing. And getting rid of the nuclear threat there with terrorists getting hold of nuclear bombs has been reduced today through the actions. So very, very exciting. So check out the monster thread. That is the play. So let's check it out quickly. And if you haven't already, this is the weekly update. And let me just hide the video here. So this is MVS Crypto promotional lead for the Kryptonite show. PulseChain weekly monster thread number 7, and it's got all the latest news from Richard Hart through the ladies on Pulse. You can see a lot of the lovely ladies there, and Brizology. He's looking good with his complexion. Big shout, Briz. We got Sal's shout out there. Genius X, lots of cool stuff. Cool coin debate. Learn from Johnny Chaos. Yeah, it was a great episode there. A couple of series there from Johnny around insights around Hex and PulseX and things. Pretty neat. PC the Greys, the surf competition, Crypto Paradise, Pulse Coinless, doing some cool stuff with Pulse Swap as well. Mo's huge stream that was pretty popular. A big shout out to Mo and Crypto Chaos and many of the team that were on that show there. We also had Internet Money. We got Seven's Epic Show, Crypto 7 there in the UK, and Tangent as well. Liberty Finance expansion there with Liberty Finance doing amazing jobs, expanding onboarding to PulseChain. Freedom of Peach. If you haven't seen that, Miss Hart, that was hilarious eating peaches. So big shout out there. We got high profile collaborations about Emmett Farm. They're doing some amazing stuff actually. High yields. Some of the, if you want the high yield farming on PulseChain, Emmett doing a great job there. Build case for PulseChain. Build case for PulseChain has got Crypto Coffee. Pretty much, I would argue, the biggest influencer in the PulseChain space is out there doing cool video on that as well. So definitely check it out. And there's a lot of cool projects as well, including the Monster Thread, Radon, and Pulse Lorian, offering some really good high yield farming. Also, big shout out to Crypto Bro out there. We've got obviously Emmett Farm out there doing some amazing collabs also with Ink Printer team and Crypto Paradise and many others. So big shout out to all the stuff they're doing there. In fact, I think there's a big airdrop. Yeah, community airdrops, 100,000 print tokens on at the moment. If you get the Telegram, join up, you'll be able to get access to some of that, arguably. We got Hog there as well, doing amazing. Hog, I think, is going to be, setting the tone, being, part and parcel with the PulseChain rally, because it's going to sort of grow with the PulseChain as the PulseChain market rallies. Pulse of the Fallen anime series is going to be pretty crazy there as well, and there's some cool images. Definitely check that out. Patias, of course, doing a great job as our top deck aggregator. And of course, the Kryptonite show there, obviously daily shows, 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we're loving that. So check that out. And probably more importantly, as well, is share it around, right? Share that around so that people that are new to PulseChain, if you're wanting, hey, how can someone new to get up to speed on PulseChain? They can just read the monster thread, and that will give them an update about everything that's happening. And it's not just the big teams or the big projects. It's the middle guy or the small guy or small, the girls out there. It's just about everything in there. The artists, the NFT artists, the painters and music makers, the DJs. There's a bit of everything in the monster thread with the latest news over the last week. So definitely get out there. It's going to be wonderful. And you can imagine we're still in a bear market. Imagine a bull market. The monster thread's going to be really, really huge. Now we've got more publications coming out from the Kryptonite Show team. So keep a lookout for that. In progress. So look forward to that shortly. And we're looking to make lots of cool partnerships as well. So if you're out there, you're a project team or whoever you are, you want to look at doing some partnerships and things like that, or getting promotions. Obviously, we're doing the only professional promotions out there at the moment on PulseChain, as far as I'm aware. Then hit myself or Crypto MVS up, and we can make partnerships and do promotions for you as well. So yeah, get in there, folks, and we'll talk to you soon. Now let's see who else has got in the chat there. This was a great quote, by the way, Wookie. JD is like Trump's translator. Yeah, that is so good. All right, so let's get into the stock market news for Monday, and we can see here that the S&P 500 was rising on weak Iran counterattack, and I saw the counterattack before I turned in for the evening, so I did think, that's a good sign of peace. And then, of course, we also had rate cut hopes also increasing as well. And, of course, rate cuts may very well be the trigger for altcoin season. And that is coming up on the 31st of July, right? So that could be one of the triggers. In any case, this is very bullish news today. Very bullish indeed. We got the Dow Jones actually was up anyway before the news. It was up 0.9%, 375 points. To 42,581. Obviously, encouraged by the weak Iran counterattack. And of course, we had the S&P 500 up almost 1% as well, 57 points to 6,025. And the NASDAQ was up almost 1% as well, 183 points to 19,630. So, some nice little moves on the stock market. The US dollar is devaluing. So we're at 97.84. Remember, Trump got in and on the 20th of January, and it was around about 108. It is now at 97.84, down slightly here as well. So we have seen a devaluation of the US dollar. Commodities, West Texas has finally pulled back after hyper rallying, down 3.5%, and Brent oil down 1.5% to $66 and $68 respectively on the old oil there. And if we look back, over Trump's period, it was all the way up here at $79. And it's come down it came down a lot, right down to like $56, and it's rallied back up there. So we'll keep a lookout for oil prices, expecting that to come down now, especially with peace deal, right? And of course the Strait Hormuz, where something like 20%, or I think it's 10 to 20% of the world's oil goes through there, about $1 billion a day. That is not going to be under threat now. And of course also a lot of Chinese oil goes through there, right? As well. So that is all good news around the oil prices there. Gold at the moment down 1%, $33 to $3,360, and silver down 30 cents to just under 1% down to $35.87. So those are the commodities as well. So that is kind of where we were at the moment. Some of the commentaries was that there have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and one was set free because it was a warhead in a non-threatening direction. This is what Trump said. I'm pleased to report that no Americans were harmed, Trump said, and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost, nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region. I enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. And adding to the missile launch, reports in Iran have suggested the country is mulling blocking the Strait of Hormuz, a key artery, of course, for the global oil and gas supplies being sent around the world from the Middle East. However, despite the warning, oil prices plunged as the further escalation of the conflict between the US and Iran appears contained. Some analysts have argued that although tensions in the Middle East have now intensified, the strikes have removed at least one shroud of uncertainty around whether Trump would move to strike Iran. With the overhang of uncertainty lifted somewhat, the weekend events could wind up being a net positive. That is from the analyst there. Now, on the interest rate cuts, which is very important to us moving forward, the Fed Governor Michelle Bowman has stated that she would support an interest rate reduction in the central bank's next policy meeting in July. That'd be very, very exciting. Obviously, that was recently been only about a 15% probability that we'd move down from 4.5 to 4.25%, which is, hardly not too much. And we have had lower inflation, right? And we have had a more demure economic results at the moment. So we'll see. Some people talking, stagflation, but we'll see where that heads. Obviously, I think that the Fed should have, reduced rates already at least to 3.5%. Some people have that should be down at like 2.5%. So we'll see where that goes. This depends what camp, but definitely politics, in my view, has been being played. Speaking in Prague, Bowman predicted that Trump's sweeping tariff agenda would have only a temporary effect on inflation pressures on the United States. That is what we've seen so far, and we have seen that China's been absorbing quite a bit of the tariff impacts in China, as well as obviously some tariffs won't have much impact at all because if countries around the world are actually dumping like steel and stuff like that, then really that shouldn't have any impact. And that's what we have seen in economic studies since 2016, right? So there'll be some pressures on certain consumer prices, but on some major components, particularly into manufacturing, there'll probably be nothing at all, if not even a down price. So Bowman added that should price gains continue to be contained as they have in recent months, should be support lowering policy rate as soon as our next meeting in order to bring it closer to the neutral setting. So there we go. We might get a little bit of a cut there. Of course, Powell there said last week the central bank remained unconvinced of the case for near-term interest rate cuts, but the question is quite a bit of politics being played out there. Now, on oil, Trump basically urged countries and companies to keep oil prices low. Everyone keep prices down. I'm watching. You're playing into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it. Trump wrote in all capital letters on Truth Social. And so, Trump also urged to drill, baby, drill for the energy department, right? So Trump's, setting up the golden age of America, and that's where we are at the moment. So let's have a quick look at where the interest rate cut monitor is at the moment, see what the market is saying. So we got 5 weeks and 1 day and 17 hours until the 30th of July. That is the next Fed rate meeting. And we have moved from 15% to 25% of the market now expecting a rate cut of 25 basis points. So that, a quarter of a percentage point going from 4.5 to 4.25. So let's see how that tracks over the next 5 weeks. But that could be one of the triggers for altcoin season. And it's something I know that Richard Hart watches pretty well, is the old interest rates too. So that is the 30th of July. Put it in your calendars. Probably well worth it there. So let's jump over to crypto, which is our bread and butter. And that is at up 3.4%. Yay! We're going to give that a clap because we've had some pretty brutal period over the last 5, 6, 7 days. Good news, as they say, good news. So we got crypto at $3.36 trillion, down up 3.4%. So it's great. We've got 17,525 coins on the CoinGecko index. Looking at the Bitcoin, we are up 4.5%, $105,430. Ethereum there is up 7.9%. So that's at $2,414. We got XRP at number 4, up 6.7% at $2.16. We got BNB up 3.9% at $641. Solana up 8.9% at $144. We got number 8 there, Tron, up 3.6% at 27 cents. We got Dogecoin there, up 7.8% at 16.5 cents. We got Lido there sitting at number 10, up 7.8% as well. So those are our top 10 at the moment. And the best performer is Solana, up 8.8%, followed pretty closely by Ethereum, up 7.9%, number 2 there. So those are the two best performers, Solana and Ethereum, over the last 24 hours. Over the last week, we can see that the best performer is pretty much, I guess, Tron only down 1.1%. So that is the best performer in the top 10. Now, looking at the top 100, we got Say there still holding pretty strong, up 33.5%, actually rallying into that. You can see in the chart there, rallying up. And we got Kaya there also up 32%. Those are sitting at number 78 and number 80. They're the best performers at the moment in the last week. And Chain there up 25%, so most of it in today. And then we've got Gate there is up 1.5% over the last week. So very modest, only two really good, strong performers there in the top 100 at the moment. Looking at the top 1,000 coins, looks like we got top gainers. We've got gains by virtuals up 70%, BC Game Coin up 65%, and Vice up 61% at the moment. So it looks like gaming doing pretty well there today. We got trending, not coin there as well. Ton coin there from Telegram that's been trending the last couple of days. And Virtuals Protocol has managed to make it back into trending as well, up at 22% on Virtuals there, or obviously being a pretty good performer for some time. Let's have a quick look at that chart. And yeah, we can see that we're bouncing back here off $1.39 up to $1.69 today. So nice little pushback there. Let's have a quick look at the Virtuals website. This is the Virtual website here. And Genesis launches there. So there we go. Lots of projects on that. AI agents, right? Which is a popular thing. So that is pretty much it on the old CoinGecko. We're not going to break down into the top gainers today, but there's this little sneak peek. Let's jump over to Bitcoin and have a look at the chart. And then we might go to full screen on the Bitcoin chart. Let's do that. And we can see that Bitcoin there, woo, man, that green line there is, not only is it the tariff, 90-day tariffs, but it's also the $100,000 mark. And we bounced off that yesterday. Like we closed above it, remember, which was a bullish sign. We did pierce it for the day. In fact, we got down to 98,000, but we actually pushed back there. That was a $5,000 day volatility. Today we've got green candles, or the day we just finished, we had green candles, and we had the big pushback on the good news around Iran. And yeah, we went from 99,677 on the low to 106,135 on the high there, and we're currently sitting at 105,242. So very, very cool news here, and we're getting closer to the end game for Trump's three-legged stool strategy. I wouldn't say quite the end game for deregulation and leverage, but certainly the trade deals and tax bill definitely getting closer there. And of course the tax bill being the primary one, the big tax bill, and that is coming up as well. So the 4th of July, that is 10 days away, guys. 10 days, more or less. So yeah, are we going to get a lot of trade deals this week? That's the question. Will we get at least maybe some in-principle deals, maybe India, Japan, South Korea, something like that? We'll see. Keep a lookout for that. And there are something like 175 countries that deals are going to be made with. And the top 15 are the ones we're most interested in. We've obviously had the UK and China. We're looking for the other 13, top 15. They're the ones that probably will move markets. And so, yeah, let's see if we can get a whole ton of those over the next 10 days. Fingers crossed. Now, there have weeks ago, we knew that there were several big deals that were pretty much in principle done and could go to Trump's desk, but we haven't seen them, right? Because obviously Trump's trying to deal with Iran and he likes to do the timing, right? He is a showman as well as the president of the United States, and likes to get bang for his buck, like bang for his investment. Don't make some tough deals. He wants to get the best political reward for that. So we'll potentially see that coming out as well. So the big tax bill going through, the trade deal going through, and then by the 4th of July, it could all be done, right? That's when he wants it done. And yeah, so we're kind of going to see that too. Now, after the 4th of July, we're probably going to see more trade deals flow through, obviously, given how, we've only got 10 days left. So keep a lookout for that. And so this could really help the markets rally in to July. And then, of course, we've got the news that we might, increasing chance that on the 30th of July, which is here, so 30th of July, we could have the, an interest rate cut potentially. That would be very exciting. So interest rate cuts. We'll see. But that is coming up as well. So yeah. 4th of July, we may have a big party on the 7th of July, and maybe some of these tax tariff extensions. 9th of July expiration, and we get the golden age of America in place, right? It's going to be truly, truly glorious. And I think you're going to see the markets do something absolutely incredible. And we know the M2 monetary supply is at record highs. We're now getting peace agreements across the board, India, Pakistan, Congo, Uganda, Israel, Iran, potentially looking improved for Ukraine to make some progress with Russia. So yeah, looking pretty positive. That leaves us only one major wild card that would be difficult, which is China, Taiwan. So we'll have to keep a lookout for that. Fingers crossed, because that is the mother. That really is the mother of all wars, and we don't want that, obviously. So hopefully, level heads will, strength, peace through strength, will prevail, and we'll be able to enjoy our big hyper pump rally that we're expecting to move ahead, right? And I covered that in a lot of charts yesterday. Covered the rainbow charts and things like that, showing that 150 to 250 is definitely on the cards in my view. For this year, obviously, when I said definitely, I don't know the future, but definitely looking good from all fundamentals. And of course, Mike Lee, who called the S&P 500 last year correctly, also that's his current view, is 150 to 200 this year. And of course, we're obviously expecting the rally to go through Q1, Q2 at least, and then of course we've got the midterm rallies for next year with Trump. So, but look, I mean, if we have peace in the world, and Trump's strategy plays out, the three-legged stool strategy with the big trade deal, with the big tax bill, the trade deals, and the regulation and deregulation and leverage, those three strategies, then the golden age of America will be truly amazing. Obviously, within 4 months, we already had Trump, with over $13 trillion in investment, and that is continuing to grow. The AI race is on, and a lot of sovereign states around the world are very keen about this next technological age for the world. Which is, not only the AI, but the convergence of technologies, which will take us to another level, including robotics, AI chips, the computer-powered nose, so-called quantum chips. I'm quite critical of this quantum stuff. And of course, we also got the software developments and that convergence, those integrations are going to be quite mind-blowing as we enter the age of Terminator, pretty much, isn't it, really? And let's just be frank. We're entering the age of Terminator. But anyway, we won't quite have liquid humanoids for some time, although there is some technology out there on liquid metal. But we're fingers crossed that we get to enjoy most of this technology and not be destroyed or enslaved by it. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Just talking about that quickly. Elon Musk, if he can have a Starship on track for launch to Mars in October, November next year, we could see his robots, Optimus, land on Mars. 5 ships are expected to go to Mars if they're on track. If they keep on track, obviously they had an explosion recently. If they keep on track for Mars, we could see in the first quarter of 2027, part of the golden age of America, we could see Optimus robots land on Mars. That'd be unbelievable imagery for the golden age of America. People will not forget that. That is crazy stuff. So anyway, that's where we are on Bitcoin. Everything's tracking pretty well. We're still in our golden cross, and let's have a quick look at Ethereum, because as you guys know, Ethereum is probably even more interesting than Bitcoin. We've seen some good institutional support coming in for Ethereum. And here we are. We had a big sell-off, right? So we're almost getting up to our golden cross. We're currently still in the death cross, but it's starting to close out. We got always pushed down on Ethereum. We got pushed down to $2,100 2 days ago. Yesterday closed at a low of $2,189 and a high of $2,440. Today we're at $2,404. But Ethereum is looking pretty good. ETFs, the institutions, the corporates are accumulating, including the Trump, Liberty group, pretty exciting. We also had, obviously today, announced from Truth Social about a buyback. I can't remember how much money it was, but it's pretty significant of buyback of Truth Social stock today. So lots of things happening around the Trump empire, as it were. It sounds like Star Wars, the Empire, but these are little mini empires. It's little mini empires. So here we are, 2,400. Yeah, 2,400. You have empires for good and you have empires for bad. I mean, let's be frank. Still got the empires, damn it. We got $2,400 at the moment. We are so close to a golden cross, and this is made even more likely now with the peace deal. And so we've got the yellow line, which is the 200-day moving average. 50-day moving average. Yellow line is sitting currently at 2,423. The 200-day moving average in orange is 2,470. So we have a gap of about was it $47, something like that. So we did get as close as about $30 or something. And so yeah, we just need a couple green days like this, and we will cross over, and then it's game on. The game on there. Leading up 10 days to the 4th of July. Again, that big tax bill across just to get some trade deals out here over the next 10 days. Man, we can hyper rally, can't we? We can hyper rally. And so, yeah, peace deal holds, all that good stuff. And up to the right up to the right here. So very, very exciting to where this might head to. And of course, we could get some really bullish movements into September, October for altcoin season, get that banana part of the curve. And of course, also into December, right? These are kind of, I think, where we might see a lot of big movements in the price as we go for that banana part of the curve and get the altcoin season triggered. And of course, we got, as we said earlier, potentially we might get an interest rate cut on the 30th, which would be here. Not quite there. One day over. We got 30th there. So that is ticking away as well. So we've got pretty cool milestones ahead. But man, these geopolitical risks, boy, they had to be dealt with. You got to remember that globalists, Marxists, progressives have put us into a lot of trouble in the world. Trump's had to fix up a lot of problems, and we've had to go through that, unfortunately, in the first 5 months of his presidency. But by the 4th of July, peace deals, Golden Age of America, it's looking pretty optimistically amazing, and we could have the biggest run we've ever seen. Very excited about where we might be heading. So that is pretty much it on the old crypto for the general markets. Let's jump over, shall we, to PulseChain, Pulse Gains. So let's do that. And so PulseChain, of course, a full system state fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023 and launched on the 13th of May 2023. We're now 774 days later, and we have Pulse at the moment at quadruple 0.24. Let me just do a refresh of this, actually. Quadruple 0.244, up 1%, so very modest move. Often PulseChain does tend to move a little bit later too, so we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe it will start creeping up over the day ahead. We're at 24% of the mean sacrifice price. Now, remember, Pulse is kind of the ocean, right? And all the other tokens that are on top of PulseChain are like ships on the ocean. And this is kind of what we see, right? So we get Pulse, go 2x, and then everything else will go 2x, assuming the ratio is the same. And of course, if the ratio goes up against Pulse, then you get x's, x's on x's, right? So you get that multiplier effect. Pulse X at the moment is quadruple 0.206, up 4%. So we have got some nice little leverage plays going on. And the buy and burn sitting at 7.26% of the supply, excluding the OA sacrifice wallets. We've got INC at the moment up 6%. So nice little move on INC, and looking pretty good. We know that inflation was cut on INC down to 2,600 ink per day, which has been amazing. And that's setting it up for the big moves ahead. We've got Hex at the moment is at 52 a penny, up 7%. Best performer today, and EHEX they're up from 15 to 1600 of a penny today as well. Combined price of EX and PX is sitting at 6800 of a penny. Catch me while you can, says Hex. That's what Hex is saying. Catch me while you can, because it's looking pretty good, right? It's looking pretty good. So accumulate while you can, and eventually we'll get those the big mega uptrend. Like we've had a big downtrend over the last couple of years, we'll get that big mega uptrend. The other thing that we're coming up to, right, on PulseChain is we are only days away. We're only days away from the 60-day extension period, and this is the final end, of course, to the SEC case against Richard Hart. So that's coming up, I think, on the 5th of July, if I remember rightly. I think it's the 5th of July. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it's 5th of July. That is coming up. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 5th of July coming up on the final day, pretty sure. And so that is going to be exciting too. That will be the final nail in the coffin, if the judgment wasn't already the final nail. That 60-day period is coming up as well in July, and we could see some action on PulseChain then too, right? All right, so we got that at the moment. Let's jump over to the gas prices. We got 960,000 beats, only 0.8 of a penny for a PulseX swap, so super cheap to do business at the moment. Validators at the moment, 50,200, pretty similar to yesterday, up maybe a couple of validators. And the bridge, which is our health check, is at 83.36 million, so that's really nice. What are we at? 81.2. So I think we're up about $2.2 million from yesterday, from the looks of it. Obviously, this is reflecting assets that go up in prices as opposed to volume. There's volumes and price effects. But definitely we're up about 2.2 million, largely on price effects, I would say. So kind of cool. Yeah, based on the DAI and the ETH, looks largely on price effects. And our Bitcoin has gone back up to 27. That's good news. I'm happy about that. So that's positive. So we're back at 27, which is kind of where we were back on the 3rd of August there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But in any case, we got our custom chart that I've been tracking. And of course, this is from the 9th all the way through to the 23rd. I haven't updated the title there, but so to the 23rd. And we have had a green candle, a pretty decent green candle. We had lots of money still going out overnight. This is before the peace deal, right? So we still had, lots of red candles going out. We did have a nice little green candle, and that was 208,000. You can see that. And this yellow line is the accumulated net impact, right? So you take the amount of money coming in, take less the money going out, and then you get an accumulated, right, over time. And of course, this is since the about 6 p.m. on the 9th of the June there. And we can see that the money was leaving, right? Because risk off, right? Everyone was risk off, end of the world, World War III, all that stuff. And so we ended up having a record of $3 million go out off the bridge in timestamp value going out of the bridge, right? So that is how far we got. We've just come off the back of that. We're now at 2.92. So let's see what happens over the next 24, 48 hours, and maybe even the next 72 hours now that the peace deal is in place. Will we start to see this? Go back, back towards zero, which is back here, right? Because only, back here on probably the 11th, we were actually basically at break even, right? So there was no the money coming in, the money leaving was about the same, and we were not too bad, right? Not too bad. So you got to remember. So that's kind of where we are at the moment, about 2.9 million down. Brennan says, cool bridge flow chart, super. Yeah, we'll keep a lookout. This is a little sneak peek of what's coming up in the future there, Brennan. Wink, wink, wink. So this is one of the things we're going to be doing here on the Kryptonite Show. We got Hexagrader in the house there. Hey, good to see Hexagrader. And Brennan says, liquid female bot says, that's kind of creepy, Brennan. It's kind of creepy. I got to be real with you. Got to be honest. I get what you're saying. Well, I won't even get into that topic because let's avoid that and move on. But anyway, this is the chart at the moment. So you can see we did have a lot of money leaving, and arguably, I guess overall, it was, people doing risk management plays. Obviously, some people can take money, sell stuff down because they want to, do something else, or get into stable coins or whatever. But this is money leaving PulseChain. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So down 3 million on this event, based on timestamp values. And we'll see where that all heads, moving forward over the next couple of days. We should reasonably expect a reversal, but sometimes the reversals are a bit slower than the money leaving, right? Money leaving is pretty quick, and money coming back in, as confidence builds. So we'll keep a lookout on this chart and see how that goes and see what impact we have on the PulseChain. The more green candles we get on PulseChain, right? The more green candles, the more we should see this reverse faster, right? We get double-digit gains on PulseChain. We still got a lot of stable coins on PulseChain, right? So, they're not probably being used, and so more stuff that buys up the product so we can get that reversal quicker, right? And then we might see some big players come over, right? And they can, change the game as well, market makers, and there's a number of players that could do that. So let's have a look at the overall markets and see how we're doing. So we're up to 17.5 million. Hooray! 17.5 million. So we've been down at about 11 to 12 million, right? So this is nice to see 17.5. And the news is only just settling in, right, around the peace deal. It's only been out for, 2 hours or so. So this is kind of cool. We're at 292,000 transactions, which is a pretty decent amount, around that 300K. And look at our top performers at the moment. Over the last 24 hours, we've got GoPulse. That is up 33.7% at just under 9.9 cents. And of course, that had typically been sitting around 10 cents, right? We've got BFF is up 33%. We've got Soil Sun Minimal, which was also one of we saw the bridge. There was a big whale that sold down. Now, I don't know, the Achilles heel is Soil Sun Minimal is the holders, right? So that's it's true for a lot of projects, but because this is relatively new coin, it's more true, right? It's more impactful. Because a lot of people getting free coins, getting wealthy pretty quickly, and that's why people are in crypto, because of the mad gains. So that is the Achilles heel. On the positives are still there, but they've been much slower and deferred. Like the website and the dashboard and the bridge and the Soil wallet and all that sort of stuff is being deferred a little bit. And so the 3rd of July, Austrian World Summit was a bit of a letdown from that point of view. It was a great little session that they had at 2 p.m. But that sort of thing. So you get this sort of stuff with developers and with corporates. So we'll just have to be a bit more patient with that. In any case, on a TA point of view, so those are the fundamentals. We're still expecting all that. So we've still got potentially all this demand coming in for the SOAR token. So we'll keep looking for that. But when we also have the TA side of things as well, right? We see the chart was rolling over there. So at the moment, though, it's one of the best performers. Let's have a quick look. And we can see that, once we got to here, right, this was the summit, this was the 3rd, and we started to see a rollover already, right, leading into that. So this was the chance there. You would have to have quite good fundamentals on the buying side to push this up to another level, right? Because the RSI was, getting a bit hot. We were pretty hot there on the rally. See the rally? And you can see the RSI on the daily was getting hot. We were right up there at 92, for goodness sake. That's your warning sign, right? Now, we kind of chilled around a little bit until we got to the summit. And then we're expecting the big dashboard. None of it got launched, right? It's all got deferred. And so we have to wait. That they basically, the last update from one of the staff members was that that the CEO Wolfgang had deferred it. And they were doing a little technical enhancements, but still here we are, back on the 24th. We still haven't seen the upgrade, right? So, that was quite a letdown. So not only did we not have fundamentals, but the TA chart was a sell down, right? It already rolled over here. This was the rollover point. And then a big whale came in. Now, who's the whale? I don't know. Were they inside job? Who knows? Right? That's the play. But they essentially sold a lot of their bags that were sitting in one of the top. I think they had like 7 million coins originally. They sold down all those millions, and of course, we can see the chart starts to move down. And we had a couple other accounts also selling. You can see them in here, right? And large, some of those. There was, I think, one large trader account that I tracked. But a lot of them are, just free coiners. And when I say free coiners, there were a lot of the customers got it under Rewards 1.0, where they got, were able to swap their points over for SOAR tokens, and it was like a 20-1 ratio. They had a funny little double swap ratio thing. One was 1 divided by 1.5 or something, and times 20, something like that. And so that's the play. Now, it does look like maybe on the good news, where we'll start to track back up. We have gotten the RSI on the daily. We got down to 33, not fully oversold. But that might be where we land there. We'll have to see how the next few days. We have, obviously, this peace deal is very bullish news, and we'll see whether the confidence comes back into the market, and as we would probably reasonably expect, and we can start zigzagging back up here. Was the bottom at 5.6 cents? We will find out. So far, we've got a big rally up to here to 6.7. We're up 7.5%. Let's see whether we can push higher here on the mark here. Maybe even up to 8 cents. Let's see how we go there. We've got plenty of room in the RSI on the daily to do that. 4 hourly gives us little blues clues, right? So short time frame, medium time frame, long time frame, give you a bit of a blues clues. And if we do get good news around the fundamentals with all the wild stuff, we shall see whether we have that at the moment. At the moment, we got the RSI on the 4 hourly at 50, so we've still got plenty of room to move here. Maybe we might make it up to 7.6 cents or 8 cents. We'll see on there. Brendan's our TA guru in the Discord. Says SOAR is hitting some resistance to the upside, but room in the RSI. Yeah, definitely room in the RSI there on the 4 hourly and also on the daily as well. So I don't know if the hourly time frames, it's semi-relevant. They're at 60 at the moment. All right, so that is kind of the big player. Now, this is one of the Magnificent Seven, right? But this is an investment. It's not just a short-term trade. I mean, you can trade it, but this is, when I talk about SOAR fundamental, it's really about a hold, right? This is a hold. You accumulate it, and buy it up there, and so it's going to have its swings and so forth, right? Now, that's kind of the play there at 17.5, and we're waiting for a lot of those big fundamentals to play out. Certainly, the buy and burns, I think, slowly coming in, so we'll keep a lookout for that too. So there is big news coming for SOAR, I'm sure, just delayed, basically, and we'll keep tracking that. All right, so BBC from the 9-inch exchange is sitting at 1 cent, and that's up 16% as well. And we have seen some interesting moves yesterday with the 9-inch and the BBC token. It's basically BBC token is the incentive token for the 9-inch farms. You can see the 9-inch farm is the third biggest farm here on Dick Screener, behind PulseX and 9mm. And that was founded by Hexy Bastard, and it was a massive sacrifice, one of the sacrifice projects, $16 million if I remember rightly. And that is the play. So we've seen a little bit of movement there. Tropo there from James Maria, the genius James Maria, is up 15.6%. We've got X at up to 15% there. Reserve Tay up 11.8%. We've got PTC the Greys with the Atropa pair up 11% there. So getting a little bit of benefit, I guess, linked to James Maria still as PDC. We've got Trump pump tires up 10%. Hey, look, and if we get this golden age of America, we get all this bullish stuff around Truth Social and everything else, we may very well see, the Trump pump tires do very well on PulseChain as the dominant Trump token, I guess. So we'll keep tracking of that. There are others out there, but this looks like the one that's got a bit of a play on it. Loan token from Liquid Loans up 10%. I don't know. I'm not expecting to see too much of that 50 million bucks or whatever's left of it. It's probably back to when you take interest to account and stuff like that, it's probably been filling back up. But we'll see what happens with loan. Loans only got $100,000 liquidity in there. $800,000 market cap is pretty pathetic, right? Now the team has delivered the products, so you can't argue against that. But it's sitting on quite a bit of money there. The only thing I would say is that we were waiting on, they did talk about having some big onboarding partnership that they were dealing with. I haven't heard anything on that. So if anyone knows anything about that, let us know, but haven't heard anything about that. Your Mum, which had a big burn and big support from, I think Moon King, was it? That's up 9.4% today. UFO, part of PDC, is up 8.9%. Honeypot there, been around for 18 hours, ironically. That's up 8.8%. So that's been around for 18 hours there. Now, that's wrapped with wrapped ETH there, so you can decide on that one. I'm going to jump forward from that. We got Teddy Bear, James Murrell. James Murrell is also up 8.4% there. ALGO there, which has been doing some marketing on Midgard. That's pretty interesting. They're up 8%. And then we've got Sparta from Wendy's for Tendies, that old XOG, also up 7.6% there. And then we start getting some of the HEX prices up 7.5%. That's starting to continue to move higher. And then we've obviously got 9inch itself. We talked about the BBC token up here, moving up, 16%. But we've also got 9inch down here, also at number 30, moving up 7% as well. PDC the Greys, the main pair, is up 7%, and this is one of the Magnificent Seven, as you guys know. So what are the Magnificent Seven? Those are the 4 Richard core coins, and I have them as PDC, Sol, Sun, Minimal, and Solid X, right? Those are the 3 ones that I have put in that list. It's my list. You can have your own Magnificent Seven. Don't steal mine. No, you guys can have whatever you want. That's just the way it goes. We've got Most Wanted at the moment, up 6%. We've got Doubt Token up 6% as well. These are both pump tires. One of them, of course, associated to Richard Art, the most one. And then, of course, getting into number 40. What we got there? What happened there? We got a big move, did we? What happened? We also have Solid X at number 47. So this is another Magnificent Seven that wraps up our top ones, because we got PDC, the Greys, of course, Sword Token, and Solid X. Now we're expecting some big things from Solid X coming up very soon. We're expecting to have something like 4 different products be launching for Solid X. So and this is backed by one of the 2 big whales on PulseChain, Firewhale, right, friend of Randy Alaski's as well. So keep a lookout for that. This is going to be pretty interesting to see where Solid X goes there. $8.56 at the moment, up 5.6%. In fact, we might have a little look at this one, a little bit of a deep dive. And you can see that chart's actually looking pretty good, right? And this is pre all the big stuff happening, all the fundamentals. And so, yeah, we're going to have Solid X staking. And we're going to have, the big buy and burn from the profits of this decentralized casino. Potentially, it's going to have a full crypto license, which would be pretty rare in crypto, an official crypto license. And it could be game on there, right? Now, if you haven't joined our X Game portal, which is the first dedicated community, the link's in the video description to join up on Telegram. It is free. Join up and get all the alpha there. It is going to be this could be our first big viral protocol on PulseChain. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, it's going to have a 30% referral bonus. And of course, all the influencers could be jumping on this big time. We understand that there's going to be a pretty decent marketing budget, like not something we've never seen before. I think the closest thing to a marketing budget that we've probably seen is probably Rack and Michelle doing his social media marketing campaign. And I think this is going to be many times bigger than that, potentially very large. We'll see. Now, obviously, I don't know Racken's budget, but he's obviously been doing a great job. But this, I understand, is going to have quite a significant budget. And there's also some other little secret sources involved with Solid X that you can find out in Strategy Club. So you join up Strategy Club, links in the video description, and it's only $35 a month. So fantastic value to join up Strategy Club. You also get, the monthly crypto updates. You get the top 10 index as well, so get in there. And of course, a lot of regular alpha in the chats, as well as strategy chats and everything else. So Strategy Club is the place to be, and we always appreciate everybody else is input in there as well. So join up today. What else there? We got some other people in the chat here. Blair says, looks like a teacup forming, drop forming, says Blair. What else we got there? Kevin's in the house there. I appreciate your effort. We're going to the moon eventually. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're about to. You guys know in crypto, it happens very fast and suddenly happens often. So just remember that. It is very, very quick to happen there. We got Titanx on the house. They're built on Bear is Eros, and it is also in the Titanx ecosystem on PulseChain. A little alpha there. Yeah, we're going to probably been doing a bit more on the Titanx assets coming to PulseChain and Eros. So keep a lookout for that. But big shout out to Titanx in there. Choose your LP pairs in the bull market and lock in the ratio at the lows. That's the true Bear and Eros. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to be doing more on that coming forward. Brendan in the house there with the Strategy Club. Join up using that link. And see you in Strategy Club. Only $35 a month. Fantastic value. All right. So we got $8.57 on SolidX. Could be massive. One of the Magnificent Seven. Now let's jump down. We're heading towards the top 50. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there, right? So with most wanted there. So those are top 50. Oh, it looks like we've got Teddy Takeover is moving up as well. That's up 5%. So getting some modest gains. Potentially we could have some big moves over the next 24, 48 hours. So keep a lookout for PulseChain. Often moves a little bit slower. So this could be pretty exciting there in the top 50. But we've got lots more green in there. I'm not going to go through the rest of the top 50, but you can see there's a lot more green stuff there. We're green all the way to number 78 today. Can we start getting some double digits across the board? So far, we've got the top 20 pretty much up in the over 10% at the moment. Let's see whether we can get a bit more of a rally on today and tomorrow, especially as the peace deal goes through that 24-hour period, and we can get some real moves on there. All right, how are we doing? 57 minutes on the hour. We're doing pretty good. Titanx says Jake place shotgun contract on PulseChain and migrate Shogun coin and contract. Use Genesis 8% to buy bot coins to peer, says Titanx. All right, let's jump over to Titanx, given that you're talking about it. Now we're moving back to the Ethereum and base chain, arguably. And here we are. We've got nice little green candles on the old Titanx today. And we've got a couple of Titanx people in the chat here today. And, of course, PulseChain crossovers as well. Obviously, there's quite a bit of shared community between PulseChain and Titanx. And we have Crypto Utah in the house there. Yeah, he says Titanx ecosystem is pumping. And there's quite a few crossover influences, right? Brandon, formerly Rags to Riches, myself, of course. I guess Mo has come from Titanx over to PulseChain. So we've got him doing both of those now too. So big shout out to Mo there. It was in the Monster thread also. We've got Cryptographics, a big PulseChain influencer now on Titanx as well, building his own project. This is probably the next big project besides DVDs. So looking forward to that too. But in any case, Titanx is up 16% on ETH pumping. Let's have a look at the chart here. And we're going to have a look at the US price first of all. Just to give you an idea of what's happening there. So, yeah, a little bounce off the bottom. We're at 6 zeros, 1100. Now at 6 zeros, 1300. And more importantly is the ratio to ETH. So we'll quickly look at that. And we can see, yeah, we're pretty much bounced around 10 zeros, 4900. We're now at 10 zeros, 5500 almost. So a nice little bounce there. And it's on the bottom at the moment, right? Buy low, sell high. That's the thing. So it's still got all the buy and burns. So it's always still got those locked up. Let's go have a quick look and see what those are worth at the moment. At the moment, the liquid supply is 69.3 trillion Titanx. Now remember that number, 69 trillion, and it's worth $9.1 million. And if we go to the buy and burn V1, it has got 4,452 ETH in there. It's worth $10.7 million. So the buy and burn is more valuable than the liquid supply. All right. So obviously that can flip pretty quickly on the run, but that is over collateralized. So, and it's a buy and burn, right? So it's an active collateralization. That's pretty cool. Now, obviously the total Signum supply is 98 trillion. Which is $12.9 million. But of course, the circulating liquid supply is only 9.1. So pretty cool. The rest of it's in state supply and the BOTs, which we won't see too much movement in the BOTs. We won't see too much movement in the state because a lot of that stuff is staked by DragonX, Helios, and the contracts itself, right? So it's heavily contracted. So yeah, and the BOT protocols, you can see a bit of movement in there. So that is the play on that one, and we'll see what happens in that space. The other one, of course, is DragonX has also got a buy and burn. That is also pretty much sitting there as well. So we've got 4 major buy and burns, and arguably even Helios to some degree contributes. So let's have a look to the line here. We're up pretty much from 1200 to 1500 to 5 zeros on DragonX, but looking at the ratio, so now everything else is built on top of Titanix, right? Titanix is kind of the medium of exchange, the layer 1 of the layer 1, let's say. And let's quickly look at the ratios here. So we have bounced. We had this big rally, right? We had this big rally. We got up to 16.4. Then we had some whales coming in, right, dumping. And then we came all the way down to 9.86. And now we've bounced back to 11.16. So DragonX looking pretty cool. Now, this is run by Eric. Of course, Eric's a very smart guy, and he's doing a lot of development. So he could have a lot of cool stuff coming for the old DragonX. So I'm expecting some big things to happen in DragonX as well. Crypto Utah says Inferno is leading the charge. Yeah, we're going to get to the Inferno. I probably don't give enough love to Inferno, but Inferno does a great job there and has one of the highest burns, right? So we'll talk about that coming up. We've got Sandy Beach in the house as well. Hey, Sandy Beach, always a pleasure. Sandy Beach is one of our awesome moderators and community members. So big shout out to Sandy. Hello, Superman and everybody. It's always great to see Superman in the chat. Big shout out there. Sorry, not Superman. See Sandy Beach in the chat there. What's such vanity? That was such vanity. All right, so let's move away. All right, so we got the buy and burns in here too. So let's just quickly check out the buy and burns. And the stats here. I'm going to get myself in trouble today. We got the buy and burn. So actually, we got the Dow. I think it's in the Dow. So we've got 463 ETH on the buy and stake balance for Titanix. And then we've got the DragonX buy and burn balance of 463 ETH. So we're sitting at $2.2 million on that at the moment. Plus, yes, folks, plus they get a share of the 888 day. And the 888 day actually on Titanix has also got a lot of money, right? The payouts, we got a payout page. It's got the 8 days, got $2.7 million in there. And of course, whatever price ETH is at the time, that's going to be worth way more. And of course, DragonX and Helios are getting a lot of that, right? So that's pretty cool. X28, of course, Jake gave an update that he's building something that's not a new coin, but it's going to eat up some of the X28 supply. X28 is the omni-chain version of Titanix. So basically, there's only one token Titanix, but it's going to be spread out to different chains, and it does that through X28. So that's why it's omni-chain rather than multi-chain. Whereas multi-chain, you would sort of reissue the token on every chain, so you're basically doubling, tripling inflation, right? So that's not the case here. It's dispersing the existing supply, and he's going to have something that's going to be eating that up. So we're looking forward to that. Could be around AI and things like that. So we'll keep a lookout for that from Jake Sharp, the founder of Titanix. Let's jump through some of these. Obviously, Shogun and Hyper both have their buy and burns as well. Let's have a quickly look at Shogun. And we're doing a full breakdown now, aren't we? We're going right into it. We got the buy and burn here. I thought this was let me see here. We're on the stats. We got have they been using this? What's been going on here? Let me just double check stats here. Circulating supply sitting at 1.7 trillion Shogun. And the burn supply, total circulating supply is sitting at 2.2 trillion. And the buy and burn, I thought we had buy and burn balance in here, but it doesn't appear to be there. Am I missing something? I've just forgotten. Is it over here on the docs? No. Okay. Well, maybe not so much. That's Shogun. Oh, it's Shogun. Sorry, my bad. I apologize, guys. I'm in the wrong project. I thought I was in Hyper. I was going, what the fudge? All right, so let's go to Hyper. Hashtag let's get real. All right, so we've got the stat supply at the moment. We've got $1 million worth of liquid, 3.6 trillion. And the buy and burn at the moment is sitting at 41,000 in the buy and burn balance. So that is the play in Vortex, and not much in there. So that is modest. That is pretty modest. But the Hydra one is fairly significant. So we're going to Hydra and check out the Hydra one. And let me get rid of some of these extra websites. So we've got these stats here for the supply. We're sitting at $1 million, 7.3 trillion Hydra. And the buy and burn is sitting at $566,000. So that's extra, right, on top of the Titanix and DragonX. And remember, Hydra is matched with DragonX, right? So that's extra buy and burn there. So keep a lookout for that. So yeah, we've definitely got Hydra, DragonX, and Titanix with big buy and burns. And then we've got Helios, which is also, a big staker in Titanix. It's going to get the 888 payout. It's got a nice little buy and burn, and that is up 30% today, and relatively probably scarce supply, although the ratio is still at 1.23 Titanex, so still a lot of room to move there from Helios. That's also, we've got Volts at the moment, up 13.87% from Stevie D. And then we've got Inferno, man. Oh, right. So we're going to come back to Crypto Utah here. It is leading the charge. He is not wrong there. He's not wrong. So Inferno is up 55% today. Woo! Hot dog dog, leading the charge. So some big moves here happening on Inferno. And yeah, we saw some big money get pumped in there. And it's still relatively low off the bottom too. So we got, when I say big money, relative to the size of the project, we got a nice $11,000 volume there, and that pumped the chart. Let's have a look at the Titanex ratio, which is probably very important. We're going to go to the daily on Inferno, and that's been pumped from the bottom there. So there we go. That is the chart at the moment. Actually, not too bad off the bottom. And let's see if it can break this 1.13 ratio and keep moving up there. It's probably got a nice natural thing to head towards 1.5. We'll see how we go there, but looking very good. Now, the interesting thing about Inferno is kind of the it's a layer 2 coin, but it's kind of the layer 1 for its own ecosystem. If that makes sense. So yeah, let's go to the buy and burn. And I think we have some stats in here. Do we? No, that's not where I want to go. I want to go to Inferno X, is it? I'm just trying to find the stats. Where's the stats? I've lost the stats. Where's the stats? I'm not sure. Utah's probably going, I know where the stats are, man. You're not looking at the right things, man. Look at the right things. Stop. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Looking at the wrong stuff. All right. So actually, where's the burn gone? Where's the burn gone? The buy and burn. Where's it gone? I don't see it. Where's all the stats, man? I can't see them. Anyway, so we're gonna have to miss that. I'll try and find those. Where were they gone? I thought it was over about like 55% burn. Anyway, that's where it was at. All right, let's jump over to Morpheus. This is from Brandon. That's up 13% as well. So that's probably going to be a big move. It's built on top of DragonX, and DragonX built on top of Titanex. So we're looking forward to some big stuff there with their Switch DEX, is it? Switch kind of a DEX swapping, or less swapping. So we're looking forward to more from stuff from Brandon. Multi-chain, it's going multi-chain, right? What else have we got going down here? We've got the Tink farms. We're going to keep an eye on that. 1.5 cents at the moment, up 25%. And we've got Element 280 from Stevie D, the founder of Helios, up 10%. Let's see what else is looking interesting here. Flare is down 30%, I see. We've got a lot of these ones on base chain, right? So this is the first omni-chain move from Ethereum to base. We've got Uranus, of course. That's sitting at 1.09. So still in the money there, but wiped out a lot of that massive game. And then we've got, what else? We've got the rest of these ones also, Helios and Element 280 on base chain as well. And I think Baby Dragon X in there as well with some of those tokens. And we also got Inferno X as well over there, 1.7%. So that's been a new one there from Inferno. So big shout out to the team there. I missed that one, haven't I? 28 days it's been on. So you haven't been covering quite as much. Moving forward, we've got 2 alpha projects coming. We've got Genie from Stevie D. Can't wait to see that launch. And the other big one that I'm looking forward to in particular is Taurus there from Cryptographics. And those two could be pretty exciting. So keep a lookout for those. Now, this is the big one. I don't know, both Bitcoin Genie and Taurus together. But Taurus, people have been talking about 10 trillion Titanex being eaten up. And that's why I told you to remember what we talked about with that 69 trillion supply, liquid supply, is that Dragon, a Taurus, people were talking about maybe it could, take 10 trillion and it could be one of those big projects. And that could really move things really fast for Titanex. And then if Jake Sharp's managing to launch his project for X28, and then all the rest of the developers, which have got, incredible developers in Titanex, do their thing, we could see some, real game on there as well. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right, I think that's it, is it? I said Santa, yeah. It was a shame on me, as we say. I won't go into that. But that is pretty much it where we are with the markets. Yeah, crazy, right? Peace. We got peace, world peace. Fingers crossed that all holds. But yeah, it feels like God's on the move, that's for sure. And yeah, we're going to get some common sense. What else there? We got, I feel the crypto market will have some big moves in the next 68 days based on the 17-year market cycle there. That's from Brennan there at TA Guru. Big shout out there. That's some alpha drop from him. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Don't forget, if you haven't joined Strategy Club, the link is in the video description. Only $35 a month. Fantastic. If you haven't checked out the monster thread, that is all the latest hot weekly news on PulseChain. Check that out from from MVS Crypto, our promotional lead at the Crypto Night Show. His editor-in-chief of that, and pushed it out. It's only been out for about maybe a day and a half there. So check it out, the monster thread, and share it around. The perfect onboarding tool to introduce people to PulseChain. They're going to be able to really get up to speed with all the players and all the action, all the community stuff on PulseChain. And we've got the influencers, the projects, the ecosystem updates, and of course we've got all the cool community and all the culture on PulseChain there as well. It's all wrapped into one on the monster thread. Perfect way of getting everybody on board. Crypto Utah says no worries. Yeah. And you guys I'm sure you guys have moved the numbers. I'm sure of it. They were sitting there nice and bold and proud. Either that was on the wrong website. Who knows? But very, very cool. All right. So hope you guys have enjoyed the show. World peace and prosperity for all. That's all we can say. I'm going to leave out our cool video from billionaire Raoul Paul on where we might very well be in the cycle. It looks very likely that we're at the beginning of that banana, especially more so now that we have got this apparent peace deal. So fingers crossed it all plays out as well. All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you on tomorrow's show, and bye for now.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.